I did like that.
But Boimler being a little sneaky, yoinking. Well, like 327 Boimler just kind of just tosses his pad away, and our Boimler just like yoink, and he's just like do like being all sneaky and surreptitious.
Yeah, but Boimler's always been like that. He's always wanted to get his hands on things that could possibly make him better, and knowing that his alternate reality self kind of thing is taking the captain's chair and really confident and all the things he aspires to be, he was bound to nab something.
Oh, did you catch that Boimler's reverse Riker when he got off from the con station to take the captain's chair at the end of the first episode?
Yes, I did notice that. Yeah, I did. And do you know what? I actually saw that and it made me want to watch the Strange New Worlds crossover again, to be honest.
The Riker!
Because that is probably one of my favorite episodes of Trek ever.
Well, and that was not scripted either.
Yeah, I know it wasn't. But they kept it in. But no, I did notice a few things that I've probably forgotten, but I'm finding it really difficult to write notes at the minute. I mean, all the notes that I used to take the last few months have just, the last couple of weeks have been worse.
And like with me, I didn't do a good job of writing notes. I kind of sort of wrote some notes when I first watched it before the Strange New Worlds podcast, but I have no idea where my notepad went, so I had to grab my AA notepad to write my notes for tonight.
All right.
I don't know where all my notepads have been. I had to use my binder that I used to take notes from my bloody novel.
Okay, I've got a question for Zach. I know you're off camera now. Away. Oh, okay. I'll ask him when he comes back.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. You're here.
I'm here.
Okay. I noticed right before I went off camera and you were on camera, it looks like you lost a little weight. Are you doing a program, or are you just eating healthier, or is it the weed?
It's the crack.
That's what it. All right. Yeah, but you're looking good. You're looking good. You look a little thinner, a little healthier, I'm glad that the crack is working for you. I'm not here to advocate crack. I'm just saying, go with what
Welcome
works.
to Technically Tracking our alternate diet plans.
Yes.
There's the cackle. Oh, but speaking of cackles, like this was just kind of bouncing back and forth between the two episodes when Rutherford was working on the doors, and then just then all of a sudden, bam! There's T'Lyn. He's like, "Okie dokie."
And when the Vulcan fixes the shuttle completely, he walks in. Oh my God! It wasn't the end result. That's not what we wanted.
And then when she returns and they go back, and she destroys it all. Oh my God! What did you do?
Again. That was so nice.
Exactly.
And Gucci helped her. Mm-hmm. And say when Rutherford first walked in, freaking out, Gucci just immediately just like dove and hid for cover. He's like, "Oh crap!"
Well, yeah, but who knew Vulcans could be so bloody nice?
Yeah.
I had no idea that Vulcans had that side of them. No wonder she was sent to mend her ways.
But to humans to mend her ways, that's, it's like if I'm, a little too emotional for a Vulcan, so my recompense is going to be to spend time on a human ship?
Well, yeah, it makes perfect sense.
To be fair, Tuvok was kind of nice. Kind of. Not really.
He got nicer with age. I think when he was in his 150s, yeah, he was a little
pretty much.
Like in the when he was nice to Seven of Nine on Picard. That was. But then again, we had the Changeling Tuvok, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was I mean, he seemed very Tuvok-y until like Seven caught him in a flat out lie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
but
then-
in Voyager, Tuvok pumped a hologram of his wife. That's my favorite.
That would be your favorite.
No,
And of course, he complains that Tom Paris made her ears too big. That didn't stop him.
Well, no, I mean, Tom has a serious thing, he's got to get his jollies somehow.
and
I mean,
see,
how do
but
you think Vulcan babies are born?
Yeah, by
we're
doing
gonna have
this.
hologram.
That's how you get Vulcan babies, apparently.
Yes.
Thank you, Star Trek
that's at
3.
least that's just foreplay.
I don't know, but that's not it's not making me hard. I don't know what that does for other people.
I would have thought mind melding would be foreplay.
Yeah, because then you could
That's very
envision
intimate.
what here's what you're about to experience. Get a load of this.
Did we just break Katie?
I hope so.
I think
It's always good when we break
we
it.
broke Katie.
One thing that we've talked about in the show, I think as early as the last episode, we were talking about wealth. We were talking about the monetary system. And of course, here we go having an episode on the monetary system, right? And before they gave the money to the Orions, what were they going to do with it? What were they going to do with all that money? Do you remember?
They're going to melt it?
No, they were going to melt it.
They're going to put it they're going to like replicate or just put it in
back into the replicator, right? To reach it. Yeah, right. So that is exactly what I said from the very beginning, that wealth, I mean, with replication technology, if you're just going to put it back into the replicator, back into, whatever, where it can be the molecules can be taken apart and put together as like food or clothes or whatever. But I mean, if it can take precious things and turn it into that, it can take other things and turn it back into precious things. I mean, a replicator replicates. I mean, it's a very simple. Once it knows the pattern of gold, it just takes molecules and makes more gold. So I don't know where gold pressed latinum and things like this, could simply be replicated, because they literally said in this episode, we're just going to, put it back.
That just means. Then why don't the Ferengi just steal a replicator and just
right? Like I'm telling you, and Ferengi have replicator technology, so it's like, do you really need to acquire anything?
Well, I think when it comes to the Ferengi, I think it's the chase and the market that matters. It's the hard work going into it. They understand. Yeah, they actually understand entrepreneurship or robbery, whichever.
But say one thing I gotta say that I'll let Phil put in his 2 cents is like that when the Blues, the Azures and the Tendi family were in front of the Orion Queen, I believe Julian on Strange New Pods echoed this, and I'm just going to say the thing. I want a stuffy Blazard. That little bat thing, that bat thing. That's like.
I want a stuffed one. I want a real one. Could you imagine one of those on that side and a Moopsie on this side? I'd be golden.
Oh, Moopsies. That's what you're talking about. I was like, what?
No, but no, there's that bat thing that was by the Orion Queen.
What was that?
Yeah.
What was that thing?
A Blazard.
A Blazard?
That's what it's called, a Blazard.
A Blazard. Yeah.
And it's like it's upside down bat, because bats are upside down, but it's right side up, which makes it an upside down bat.
No, it was sitting on its feet, and it just big old wing fence.
But it looked like the bat, but a bat should be hanging upside down. He was right side up, which is upside down for a bat, right side up, because backwards.
The evening is young. Maybe camera will emulate that for us tonight.
No, this is a different camera.
I mean, what wouldn't you want a gardener robot with a blaster?
No. I really
Not
wouldn't.
really.
I would kill it dead.
I
I
wonder,
mean, it might forget to water you, and then you're dead.
I wonder if that bat thing was potty trained or if it just
It just poops everywhere.
poops in a dish. I don't know.
Hmm.
And what was that caw it did? It was something really strange sounding. I remember it didn't seem to fit the animal.
Well, I think that's part of the point.
Just think like a
Goofiness.
bat and a pterodactyl have made a baby, and that's what a Blizzard is like.
Pterodactyl
That's
and what?
Like,
It's basically when a Vulcan comes together with a Vulcan and a Blizzard is made.
no, don't. I don't want my migraine to flare with too much cackling.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I get too much on your finger there? Somebody has some Purell?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well,
What is
Fortune
finger
splits
spooge?
into
I
how-
don't know how that works.
That's how well we know our track.
we're gonna split Katie in two if we keep it up. How's it going, Phil?
I'm good. I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. I'm holding out.
Yeah, so we're just kind of bouncing back and forth between the two
Yeah.
episodes. So what are like some of your high
Yeah.
points, low points from the
I have to apologize now that I've started thinking about it. I've watched the first two, and the storylines have all kind of melded together now in my head. I should have taken better notes.
That's what
No,
it was.
I
for
actually
me.
did enjoy it. I thought for the most part it was. I can't say they're like favorite episodes yet or anything, but it was just kind of nice just to have some more Lower Decks to watch, and I did enjoy that. Yeah, I the only thing I remember that stuck out in my mind was the first episode was driving me a little bit crazy, and I'm terrible remembering characters' names. I felt like though the what's her name when she didn't want to when she found out her sister was pregnant.
Tindy.
Candy.
Candy and Erica. So that was the second episode.
Yeah. Sorry.
That was the second episode.
It was like okay. The first thing I thought of was this is following like a lot of the sitcom comedy tropes that I've seen like repeated over and over again, where somebody knows a bit of information. All she had to do was say it, and it probably would have solved everything. But she's refusing to do that, and yet sets up these ridiculous situations that's getting more and more and more awkward as it goes. But I feel like I thought this is like I've seen things like this in Three's Company years ago. Same idea. So that was the only thing. Maybe if I had any kind of little nitpicky thing, but yeah. Otherwise, though, I mean, overall, I enjoyed the episodes. Though I thought it was amusing too when everyone met their twins, Boimler and what's the Vulcan's name?
Tulin.
They're the only two that actually got along with their twins. That actually, everyone else was like fighting with them, but they're the only two that.
Well, that kind of reminds
Captain Freeman, because she didn't have a twin to fight with.
True, right? Yeah.
Her twin was on Starbase 80.
Right.
I
Yeah.
know, bless her.
Which is a name of I think episode 5 of this season. That's what I was going to look up earlier, which makes me believe that we're going to visit the 327 universe again.
Oh, okay.
Which is where Beckett Mariner was going to be shipped off to Star. Did she actually go to Starbase 80? Was she actually there for a minute, or was she only en route?
No, they say that Mariner was just tied up in Becky's ready room.
No, not this episode. I mean, the in season 1.
Oh, yeah, there was an episode that I think. Yeah,
did Mariner make it to Starbase 80, or was it like she was there for a little bit, or and then they brought her back? Okay.
It might have been season 2. I want to say.
Why don't you get those assholes to send you free things to tell you?
Let's look at the episode.
No, I do know which episode you're on about, but for love nor money, I can't remember.
Well, there's an episode where Mariner gets sent to Starbase 80.
Isn't that the one with the talking dog?
No, that's the one where Boimler has a transporter accident.
Yeah, Much Ado About Boimler.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's another. So as with Star Trek lore, there's always a transporter malfunction, huh?
Yes, but
Oh,
if
yeah.
O'Brien was in the transporter room, it wouldn't happen.
That's true. O'Brien was a G.
Oh yeah, he's the goat.
He is the goat.
Sorry, I've been reading too many American books. I'm even catching on to the bloody lingo now.
I don't know what a goat is, but okay. Other than
Greatest
something
of all
great.
time.
It's an animal that eats just about anything and screams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well then I married a goat.
Yeah, sometimes I just don't want a human anymore. I just want a goat. Just like go around headbutting people all day and eating anything.
Yes.
inside.
Oh my God, Phil has a goat. He actually has a goat.
I have a screaming goat.
Like in arm's reach. And by the way, you know that I'm on the radio a lot. I'm always talking on the radio. Peter of All Day Radio, and I spend my weekends over there. Next door neighbor, Ramona's rural. It's rural. His next door neighbors, Rafi and Raphael, his dad, raise goats, and they sell those goats. And I think they are screaming goats because I've never once heard them go. Ah. All I hear is like someone's getting stabbed.
I thought they just did that when they were frightened.
No, they scream. They just scream to scream.
Yeah.
And I remember because I'm in the backyard there. He's got a cargo container that's been converted into what's called a ham shack, where we have radios, antennas, and everything. It's out by the back fence that buttresses up against Raphael's property. And there's the goat and the goat pin. The baby goats are gorgeous, but they'll look at you and then for no reason, you're like, oh my God, what the fuck?
That's actually kind of funny. That's kind
Crazy.
of funny that you said a cargo container. My aunt lives up in well, she's not really my aunt. She's my mom's best friend, but she lives up in Northern California now, and she actually has on her property. She turned a cargo container into a home.
Oh, you can. Oh, yeah, they're huge, and you could. Yeah, I could see.
So she says. I haven't been there. I'd like
I've
to.
seen. I've seen studio apartments that are smaller than some of these huge ship. I mean, when I say cargo, I mean like a ship container. You know, like the ones you see on the ships that they have cranes that move them. Those goddamn things are huge. They're huge.
Yeah.
And we've got like radios in there and servers and antennas that are, a metal container makes a perfect ground for antennas, right? Because you need for propagation to work, you need a ground and you need a transmitter. And I'm trying to think. There's the name. The radiator is the antenna, and then the ground and how it reflects. There's the radiator and the reflector. Jesus, I am an extra class amateur radio license ham radio operator. I can't remember radiator and reflector. I'm going to get my license taken away. Anyway, but yeah, so the ground is the reflector and the antenna is the radiator, and you need them both to work in harmony. And the big, nice metal container does that beautifully. So it was the perfect thing. But yeah, you could live in one of those things, outfit it with just about everything.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely episode 5.
There's a link for y'all in the private chat if you want to check that out. There's a nog war going on on X these past.
Oh my
days.
God! Like eggnog.
Yeah.
We're coming to that time of year that eggnog's in the stores because from November till January, because you got Thanksgiving, you got Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year. People drink eggnog, alcoholic eggnog. Sorry, Dave, I didn't mean to bring that up, but there's also
It's all good.
But I don't like, and I'm just gonna put it out there. Never been a fan of alcoholic eggnog. I mean, I love alcohol. I drink. I'm not gonna lie about that. But eggnog, like pure eggnog, just with no alcohol, so fucking good. The allspice and the milk and the egg. Oh God,
Depends
I
on
love
how
it.
it's made. You can get some really bad eggnog.
You know, the lower third is cutting off Phil.
That's okay.
Well, say most of the Phil, not all
I
of
can
Phil.
be heard and not seen.
Well, anyways,
But-
if you go to
but
that link, it's just a picture of Nog with some eggnog.
I saw it.
Shit.
Nog. But no, they Southern Comfort, I think they make, you can just get it at the grocery store. It's like non-alcoholic, but it's made by a company that makes the alcoholic version as
Oh,
well.
I usually get
Wait, hold up.
or one of those. You know, I get a dairy, the ones that's refrigerated in the dairy, not the not the shelf stable eggnog. If it's shelf stable,
It's gross. Yeah.
I have to get the silk version. I can't do dairy anymore. I loved eggnog growing up, but until dairy started giving me issues, and I had to go to a non-dairy version. So, which is more expensive, unfortunately. But I'll get like
By the
one
way-
carton for myself a year, and that's
I don't know if they use real eggs or not because one time I really tried to make scrambled eggnog and it didn't work. So
no.
So hold
if you
up.
make
They actually,
eggnog at home, you can actually pour it on a skillet and make like scrambled eggs out of the eggnog. If you buy it in the store, you can't do it. It doesn't work.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, because it's made with it's real eggs, real, you know, when you make it at
Oh,
home.
all right.
Yeah, if you
But-
make
but-
your own, it's
Yeah.
probably it's better too.
I mean, it tastes like shit if you cook it up. Scrambled
Well, that's
eggnog
where
is
you
not
add a-
delicious, but
That's where you add a shit ton of allspice and cinnamon
nice. You know,
and bourbon.
waffle an eggnog.
Sorry.
Wait, scrambled eggnog top waffle with syrup.
Hello, Roger. Eggnog is gross.
Randy.
Yeah, say Katie blipped in there as soon as I was clicking on. It's like, yeah,
I like
Yeah.
egg.
You either like it or hate it. I find it's not for everyone.
Yeah,
I will say the silk
There-
version
yeah.
is really good. If you can't do dairy, the silk one's actually really good.
I say I remember you shared
I
that
didn't know they
story
made-
before.
They
Katie, about
actually
cats.
Yeah, well, just the talk of eggnog,
Huh.
I'm sure we call it Advocar across here, and it's an ingredient in a drink called a snowball. And it just reminded me of when my 4 kittens were born when I was younger. And being really big animal lovers, my mum and my sister went out to wet the kittens' head, so to speak. And when my mum was sat at the bar, she thought of names for the kittens: Brandy, Black Label, Snowball, and Southern Comfort. And the bartender overheard and took her the drinks, thinking that they were the drinks that she'd ordered, and she ended up getting the drinks for free. When she says, "Oh no, we're just out celebrating the birth of the 4 kittens, that's their names," she ended up getting the drinks for free.
hey, free. I like free.
I like
Anyway,
I like how, you know, when I watch UK television, like Mrs. Brown's Boys, they call her Mammy, Mammy, or where we say mommy, Mommy, mommy. And
Well,
I
I
just
say
know,
ma'am.
I know you say ma'am,
Yeah,
M-A-M.
but that is very regional. You see,
Right.
in like Ireland and Wales, like mammy, it is quite a big thing.
And
But
in Ireland, they say mammy.
itself, in England itself, there are very few places who say ma'am. And my hometown town is one of those places, but I don't like buying my mother things that have got mum on them, because even saying the word mum, it feels so weird forming that word because it's always been mum.
But that's the other thing. In England, you can find M-U-M, mum, and
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
M-A-M, mum,
That's
and
what I use.
M-O-M, mom, all exist on the island depending on where you are. So it might
Yeah.
be M-U-M, M-A-M,
That's interesting.
M-O-M, all on the island
But
depending
in
where you're
Sheffield,
from.
where I live now, you go into any like greetings card store
Welcome to
in,
Technically
in,
Correct.
in the town where I am now, it's all mum. you cannot, for love nor money, you can't find anything that says "ma'am" on it.
Well, and on the continent, it might be different too, right?
Well, yeah. But yeah, even when I'm on the phone and I've got my telephone voice on, I still say "ma'am," and like, I mean, I don't really have a telephone voice, but I try to not use as much slang. But I still say "ma'am" because, and I still don't pronounce the H at the beginning of my hometown.
Every time I hear "mammy," I just think of the song. The sun shines east, the sun shines west. I know where the sun shines best. Mammy, mammy.
Apparently,
Anyway.
Mom and Klingon is sauce.
I actually got a little 2-year-old calling his mother "mammy," because obviously I say "ma'am." When I was like a little kid, like a toddler, it was "mammy," and because that's just how I talk, I actually got this little toddler calling his mother "mammy" instead of "mummy," and it was hilarious.
I think in the song "Mammy," in the song "Mammy," they refer to Alabama as Alabamy because it rhymes with "mammy." I don't know. I got to go back and hear that song again. It's been forever.
It's pronounced Alabama.
Alabama.
That was a Forrest Gump joke that went very sour. Alabama.
Well, there's been a few jokes that have gone sour lately at Madison Square Garden, but we're not going to go into any of that on this show today.
Well,
but there really is an island. There really is an island of garbage.
Don't even. We're going to be canceled hard, right? Let's not even.
Going back to the episode. It's like some of the bits were pretty good. Say, Meckler and Gorm, when Mariner and Boimler were taken down to the dungeon, they looked dead. It's like, oh no, I forgot to water them.
That was great.
Yeah. Then of course, the inhabitants are just like, oh my god, we got to run away. We got to get off the grid. We're going to go off and eat mud, and they just like run away.
Cowards.
But see, I found that I forgot to water them thing. I actually found that really funny because now I don't know about over in America, but across here, in certain places, like especially when it comes to kids, I mean, I used to say it all the time with my daughter, like, oh, I'm gonna go feed and water Dylan, and it's just a thing that we have across here. We feed and water people. So
feed
that
what?
Feed and water.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what we say sometimes over here, and I don't know if it's a regional thing or if it's across the UK.
No, we say feed and water.
I never.
Oh well, I didn't know if it was just like a regional thing or if it was just a UK thing.
You gotta. You feed the fish and water the plants, or if you get it backwards, you feed the plants and water the fish.
No, but we say it about our kids. We're gonna go feed and water the kids.
Yeah, in the South, and back up here, Zach. My family's from the South, and yeah, feed and water is pretty common.
That's okay.
Well,
but no, that's why I found that.
I don't know anything about feeding and water in the South.
Feed and water. I've heard that growing up.
Feeding in the South that you get fed sweet ass tea.
Sweet ass tea. Sweet iced tea, but I love how he's saying it. Sweet ass tea. The regional accents are hilarious.
No, we don't do iced tea. No, that is sin juice.
Oh, yeah, in Britain.
Wouldn't you just want to sit on the back porch and watch the workers work and drink
My friend Benny in
the
UK drinks iced tea.
No. sit on the porch in a rocking chair and drink freaking lemonade, not iced tea.
Well, that
Nice.
too. You can get some lemonade, some ice cold lemonade.
We also have iced coffee, so like we're insulting multiple ways.
No,
Ice
that is
Even-
extra sinful.
Well, you know,
And-
sir,
and you can even get hot liquor.
I'm offended on that one. I
No.
don't like
You
them.
can even get
ass
hot liquor.
taffes.
You know they serve sake warm?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Better served
Ah!
than-
Yeah.
it's absolutely disgusting.
I mean,
Actually-
a hot toddy maybe, but sake?
Well, to be fair, I mean, sake's kind of nasty anyway.
Yes. Hard yes.
Yeah.
They
It's nasty.
Acquired taste.
say
It
I'm surprised
has-
we
I remember
take it
trying
all, leave
sake
it.
once, and we literally, my buddy had this. He was saving this bottle that he got. He had saved it. He had let it age for like 3 years, and then me, him, and another one of our friends decided to pour ourselves a glass after smoking a little bit, and we each took like one sip, and we didn't even finish it. We're like, oh god, that's nasty.
Right. Yeah. If you want to get clean from alcohol, just try a couple of shots of sake, and you'll never want alcohol again.
I don't mind it. It is an acquired taste, but I don't mind it.
Me
You
too.
can drink warm sake.
Yeah.
I can
And
drink
not
more or less
ours?
anything.
I have that. Yeah.
As long as it don't contain orange, I'm golden. I can drink more or less
Oh,
anything.
never
Well,
had
it's
it.
rice. There's no orange.
Yeah, it's just rice.
Exactly.
Oh,
Therefore, I can drink it.
oh,
I'd rather eat my rice.
oh my
Yeah.
God. Well, I mean, you know, I like. Oh, what is that called? The Mexican rice drink. Why can't I think of it right now?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It's
Horchata?
not horchata. Yeah, I was thinking Jamaica, and that's the purple one. Horchata. I love horchata.
Yeah.
That is delicious. I could drink
Hmm.
horchata all day, every day. I love it, but not, you know. And my grandmother made a rice pudding that was to die for. It wasn't tapioca. I want to be clear about it. It was not
Mhm.
tapioca, but it was a southern rice pudding with cinnamon, made with real rice. Oh, God, she died before she gave me that recipe.
Mhm.
I mean, I should be sadder about the fact that she died, but I really want that recipe.
back to the episode. I'm surprised I didn't bring it up earlier. The opening credits.
Yeah, what was going on with that?
What was the
Well,
hand on the cube?
A giant green
Yeah,
space
what was
hand.
wrong?
I
Yeah.
think they were.
What?
I think they dropped acid. Honestly,
Green
Now
hand.
that,
I'm
Did I
not
miss that?
That's
yeah.
from
Oh, there was a hand on the cube.
yeah.
Agreed.
that was from that's a TOS reference, Katie.
It's a TOS.
Yeah.
You said that I got the reference, but I remember seeing that in the opening credit. I got to go back
No,
and look
it
at
was-
it now.
Remember when
Oh,
the green hand grabbed the saucer of the
Right.
Enterprise? It was the one with
Yeah.
the gods. What was it?
Yeah. Oh, I know the
Who mourned
reference.
for Adonis, I think, was it that episode?
Who mourns for Adonis? Yeah.
Yeah, but the hand just kind of even had a little clump noise as it grabbed the top of one of those board cubes.
So
But there's
that's
of course
a OS reference, but what about the cylindrical things?
The whale
that's,
probe
that's
from
the
Star
whale
Trek
probe.
4?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was from 4.
yeah, 'cause that was from last season. It was in there last season too, and it had
With
that
the
little,
spinning softball.
I think
Yeah,
I seriously think they were high. I like the references, but I think they were high when they did this intro.
yeah, they had Beegers in there this season. I mean, and of course, at the very beginning, the Lower Decks logo had like the season 5 from Next Generation with the little swoopy thing going.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did notice that.
No, season
Yeah.
3 had the swoopy. Season 3.
No,
is next.
just season 5, because that was
Are you
was
sure it wasn't 3?
celebrating. I'm positive it was season 5.
All right, I'm not going to argue with you. You got things. Every time I argue, I lose. I thought it was season 3, but I do remember the swoopy.
You can't out nerd the nerd.
No,
All right.
That's why I'm intimidating with my Star Trek knowledge.
this is why they mail him free shit, and he doesn't even have to have sex with them,
Yes.
apparently.
But no,
Paris.
because they only did it for season 5 because of Next Generation, because that was the 25th anniversary of Star Trek in general, so they went
Back in a minute.
super fancy. So
Oh, okay. And so they did that because this is season 5 of Lower Decks. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed, but season 1 of Lower Decks, you know, that opening scene of the battle, and then season 2, there are more ships. Season 3, there's even more. Season 4, there's even more. Now season 5, I mean, it's like now that battle scene is just like every imaginable freaking alien that's ever been is in that scene.
yeah,
You know,
even V'ger is in there, and the Tholians with their web and stuff, and I think
okay, wait, maybe you know this. Why is there a fucking koala? What is the koala in the opening? Like the Star Trek fanfare, there's a koala, but it's only in the Lower Decks.
It's a space koala. It's like that that episode when that one character was dying to evolve into a higher plane of existence. There's a giant space koala, and then from I think it was like season 1.
It's been season 1, yes, and it's not even before the show starts. It's the Star Trek fanfare. Every Star Trek fanfare has the ship of whatever show you're watching, whether it's the Discovery ship, whether it's the Voyager ship, whether it's the whatever. That first Star Trek fanfare, whoosh.
Yeah,
and it's Star Trek. The koala is only in that one. It's only in that one. It's not in any of the other shows. Star Trek fanfare.
Yeah, but no, they put it there because of the space koala, which we saw in early season 4 when Boimler died, and he saw the space koala just sitting there with a black mountain in the background, which ties into this episode when he was trying to resuscitate the ensigns. It's like, stay away from the Black Mountain.
I got it. You know, there are so many Easter eggs and like under the table one-liners, things that if you're not really keen, you can easily miss. And I consider myself pretty educated when it comes to Star Trek, and I catch a lot of them. But there are stuff like what you just pointed out that I missed.
I missed
now I miss Dave. Dave is fucking gone. Hello, Dave?
But no, I miss so many Easter eggs, especially when it comes to the one we don't talk about. Because I tried to block a lot of TOS out to be quite honest. Even though I've probably seen every episode, unfortunately, I've blocked a lot of it out. So a lot of Easter eggs to do with TOS, I just don't register. But it's also rare that I notice Easter eggs from any other series unless it's blatantly obvious, like The Collector. But other than that, I don't really get. I think that the most Easter eggs I've ever got or references was in season 3 of Picard. In all honesty,
chock full of things there.
Guys,
or as Paul Maldoran.
We're about 12 minutes from the net, so I have to drop. I've got to get ready for it. Wednesday net. Usually I drop at 6, but this was so good I had to go over. You guys are amazing.
Well, you've been going over a couple weeks. Appreciate it, Tyson.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Talking soon.
But yeah, or as I say, like Paul Maldoran said in Stargate SG-1, it's packed full of jam.
Yeah. Oh,
what did I do?
There's another like just really quick scene that I'm hoping that they revisit later in the season. The dragon that Philip's mother sent him.
Yeah, I know. Why does he get a dragon and I don't? I mean I think that that is absolutely out of order. I think that I deserve a dragon.
I deserve it. We all deserve a dragon that talks and sounds like Sean Connery.
No, I think that I'd do my head in.
Sean Connery, you mean?
Sean Connery.
Yeah, I think that a dragon
Sean
sounding
Connery.
like Sean Connery would do my
Sean
head in.
Connery.
I think I would want it probably to
Everybody.
sound more like Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, but I was making the Dragonheart joke.
Yeah, I like that movie. I haven't seen it for like eons. But
I suggest not. It doesn't age well.
I imagine it doesn't. But no, I like the fact that he got a dragon, although he needs to learn how to tame it so that it fries his enemies and not him.
He'll learn, or he won't. But that's the fun in this series. Will he learn how to train it?
How to Train Your Dragon Lower Deck style. The ship will get destroyed.
Oh, and I wrote it down. I can't believe I haven't mentioned it earlier because, especially with my case, is a Beckett just like Boimler, don't move. There's something on your face. And he's like, what? There's like, yeah. He's trying to grow his beard to be more like the 327 Boimler.
Yeah, I did not like the facial fuzz. I didn't like the whole. No, it's not Boimler. He's clean shaven. He needs to stay that way.
Well, it's just funny that he's trying to emulate his doppelganger, pretty much for the most part, because they find out that they found out how closely they resemble, which then kind of puts what is going to be the point of divergence between our the Prime universe, and what happened with them. And it's saying some speculate it has to do with the Packlets, because in their universe it's possible that Captain Freeman was found guilty and that's what got her sent to Starbase 80.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm very confused about everything right now, so I'm probably not the best person to speculate.
Well, I mean that's the point of being Star Trek fans. It's all speculation. We can spitball. You never know. We might be spot on.
No, I've kind of stopped predicting things because I did really good with season 3 of Picard on predicting so much that came to pass, and that was me done, because I'd never. I'm not very good at predicting what's going to happen in like TV series and things, unless it's blatantly obvious, like the Mariner switcheroo at the end of the episode. That was going to happen. As soon as it was like clear that it was like an alternate reality and they were meeting their alternate reality twins, it was set in stone as soon as it happened that there was going to be a switcheroo at some point.
Yeah, but the fact that both of them gave themselves away when Mariner says please on the 327 Cerrito's thinking, you're not our captain. She never says please. It's a sign of weakness. And then when Becky just called Captain Freeman mother, she's like, you're not my Beckett. You'd never call me mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was cool though. The fact the switcheroo was cool. It kind of was. It was like a send off for Next Gen. They had a few switcheroo types, and then of course like TOS, the aforementioned TOS. I can't even want to refer it to as, where they go back, they switch worlds, and it's exactly the opposite. Everybody's evil. That was what was cool. Everybody, they weren't evil, but they weren't evil in this.
This is what I was getting at. This is what I was getting at the beginning of the show when I was saying I was quite underwhelmed by these 2 episodes, even though I liked them. The things that happened, especially with the switcheroo and the alternate reality, it's been done to death.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I mean,
when they said that, like, and like time travel and all that. I mean, when they said that they were going to be doing Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds crossover because of a time travel thing, I was a little bit worried about it, on how they were going to do it, but it turns out it's one of my favorite Trek episodes ever. But when it comes to time travel and alternate realities, I do get worried because it's being done to death.
It has.
And this alternate reality episode was bordering on the cliche. And that's what underwhelmed me about it, because, you know, conflict. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was done in a much funnier way than in the live action Treks. It was.
Oh, yeah.
It, like, the conflict between the 2 crews and trying to work together, and then the switcheroo, it was very cliche. And the only thing that saved it was the comedy element of it.
Yeah, but then they hit it. They nailed it out of the park going into the second episode. So they kind of saved this from the cliche.
Yeah, I agree to a point. I was just I don't hate these episodes. I don't. So, you know, just don't. I'm not trying to shit on Trek, 'cause I don't like to shit on Trek unless it's TOS. But I was just a little bit underwhelmed. I expected something a bit more spectacular from the final season premiere.
Well, that's where we know that we have a whole full season to go, and maybe they'll have an explosive season finale or series finale.
Wait, the whole season finale from last year was sort of a little bit of a Star Trek 2 knockoff in a way.
Was it?
I think the same.
I mean,
kind of scares me.
I mean, I've not seen it, but apparently there's like a promo that Dave and Tyson have seen that gives little insights into what to expect from season 5. And one of the things that's supposed to happen, it's a DC Comics knockoff.
With the multiple Harry Kims.
Yeah.
I have to go back and see.
I'm sorry, I'm a very big geek. I'm very into DC and Marvel.
I think we call that a nerd, an extreme nerd.
I am. By the way, on a side note, I had to quickly on the second monitor open up the opening credits because I completely missed that whole thing in the opening credits. I had to actually open up and see it, and I'm like seeing all the different ships now that you're talking about, the crystalline entity and the hand over the Borg, the thing from Star Trek 4. I don't know what the other thing is underneath it, but yeah, I can see all the references to Tholian Web, all that. So I was like, how did I miss? I think I just hit skip. The little thing with things is skip, and I think partway through I didn't expect anything different, and I just went skip.
That's like
no, I didn't actually skip the opening credits this time. The first time I didn't have the option because it was the first episode of a new season.
Right.
But I wanted to make sure that I'd not seen wrong. when it came to the opening credits, because I actually thought, like with lack of sleep and stuff, I actually thought I was hallucinating that green hand. But
no, that's all references to something, the crystalline entity from Next Gen. I recognize that. I don't.
Oh yeah, I recognize that, but it was just that green hand. I thought, is my Pepsi being spiked? Is my medication causing hallucinations again? I'm just like, what the hell is going on? So I made sure that I didn't skip the opening credits for the second episode.
No, that's all references. I don't know if it is anything. There's something under the tube ship from Star Trek 4 that I don't recognize, but mostly everything else
in here.
It was just weird.
It is. I see what they're doing, though. I see what they're trying to do.
There was two. You see, in the opening credit, I love the opening credits for Lower Decks, but that one scene, they just keep adding and adding and adding, and it's too cluttered.
That's part of the point.
I think that's the gag.
Yeah,
that the ship underneath the Cetacean probe, that's the Blue Orion ship, and it's a direct from like the animated series.
Oh, all right, okay.
Oh, I wouldn't recognize that anyway because
TAS was 10 times better than TOS. I'll say.
Yeah, I disagree. It's on par.
I liked it.
I liked it too. It's been a while since I've watched it, but with the animated series, just like with Lower Decks, is they're able to get away with more elaborate aliens. So it's because you don't have to worry about building sets or anything like or costumes or anything like that. It's all broad.
You see, at least I've learned from the mistakes, because TOS was shite and contradictory. They did the animated series that was just as shite and contradictory. Whereas now, they've learned their lesson from that, and they've made Star Trek something good. And now they've got an animated series, Lower Decks, and all right, there's Prodigy. We'll forgive them for that, but that's for the kids. So, and they've learned the mistakes.
What is the other one called? There's another one?
Prodigy.
Oh, what's that about?
It's a CGI kind of geared more towards kids, but I mean, it's chock full of Easter eggs and references. It's all you could say it's pretty much a sequel to Voyager, because it's got Janeway as a command hologram on the ship, and they got the Doctor and Chakotay are there in season 2.
Okay. So, I think I've heard of it.
I couldn't get into it. It was a load of bollocks.
Excuse me. By the way,
go ahead, Phil.
There was a quick moment. I was actually expecting something. I'll have to watch these episodes now because I don't even remember where it happened. But oh god, I don't remember what the characters said it. Somebody was asking if they wanted to get a doctor. And my head was already set. I thought they were going to bring in the holographic doctor from Voyager. I thought, they're going to get the doctor. And they didn't go through. Something happened and it went off track when they asked for like a doctor, and she dropped something or other. And I thought for sure the holographic doctor was going to come up, and it was going to be Robert Picardo. Robert.
That was
it didn't happen. I'm like,
that was when she figures something's wrong with her sister.
Yeah.
Then she decides to go and do a little digging.
Yeah,
she drops the tricorder. Like, no.
Yeah.
No, we don't need that Starfleet doctor.
Yeah.
Tendi and Devana, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to get that.
Tendi and Erica, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first time. But no, I thought you were talking about the scene in the dungeon when Meckler and Gormler like look dead, and they're just like, we need to contact our ship.
Oh, okay. No, it wasn't that scene, but
That
still
beginning
either
of
or.
episode 2, yeah.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is,
I'm pretty confident the Doctor is going to make an appearance sometime in season 5, because in season 2 of Prodigy, he makes a reference that he hasn't seen a ship this dysfunctional since the Cerritos.
no doubt. So yeah, he'll probably make an appearance.
Well, yeah, apparently Robert Picardo is supposed to be making an appearance in season 5.
Oh.
Yeah, I have heard that through the grapevine that there is a possibility that he is going to be making an appearance.
He hasn't made one yet, has he? I don't remember him showing up as the Doctor. I was trying to think if he has somewhere already, but I don't think he has.
Not in Lower Decks.
Yeah.
No, apparently there is a chance that it could make an appearance in the final season.
Okay.
I'm speculating episode 7 to say that, because the episode's titled "Fully Dilated." So I'm thinking that's the episode where Boimler gets, in the previews, he gets all like wide-eyed when he overdoses on a bunch of hyposprays, which makes me think, I mean, just based on that and what the Doctor said of Prodigy, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Could be wrong, but...
How many episodes are this season? Is it
10.
12? 10? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It'd be nice if it was 12, kind of give it. But then again, when they made the 10, they didn't know that it was going to be the last until they're in post-production.
10 seems like a sweet spot anymore. Honestly, it's the sweet spot to binge for when all the episodes are out, since it's on Paramount.
Yeah.
But it's a shame, because I mean,
like this episode a week thing.
Oh, I love it. Makes you wait. Like the good old days.
Yeah, I don't mind waiting.
I started binge watching before binge watching became a thing, and it started with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I actually would record on VHS videotape. I would actually record a full series, like a full season, and then watch it all, and like threaten death upon anyone that would release any spoilers to me. But now I've always hated the weekly thing. This is why I was so glad that when I actually discovered that I liked Star Trek, I could just watch and not have to worry about waiting, because that is one thing that I cannot stand. I've always hated it. And so I've always been a binge watcher, and that's why I've always been behind with things.
I mean, nothing beats marathoning like 10 episodes in a row of Star Trek Next Generation.
True.
Come back and do another 10.
I think the longest wait is, I still remember the end of Best of Both Worlds, the night that aired, and it ended on a cliffhanger, and we had to wait all year to find out what happened, and then that started the next season 3. I was like,
you see, I can't stand that. I can't stand it with books either. There's a book that I've got called Every Dark Shadow, and I didn't realize, and I don't think any of the readers did, that it was the first in a duology, and it ended on a cliffhanger, and I actually screamed at the book. It was kind of like a mix between a growl and a scream, and I just could not believe, because I didn't realize that I was at the end of the book. I was just like really into reading, and it didn't even register that I was near the end of the book. And then I read the last page, and I'm just like, you have got to be kidding me. And I've had to wait so long
Oh.
And the final part in it isn't coming out until next year, and I'm just like, this is just wrong on so many levels. The same with a book series that I'm a bit addicted to at the minute. The newest book that's out, I read it and it ends on a cliffhanger, kind of like on a cliffhanger, and I've got to wait until like July for the final installments of the series, and I'm just like, no.
I like to do that too.
I hate it. I really do. I cannot stand things ending on cliffhangers. I don't like waiting. It's very difficult for me. And I don't know why, but like I said, I've always been like it, and I've binge watched things since I was like in my very early teens. Like even before I was like classed as a teenager, you know, I would record things and then just binge watch them. And this was like way before binge watching was even a phrase, let alone a thing. And I was always the same with books. I hated if like getting a book if it was part of a series until the full series was out, even if I was like 3 or 4 years behind, you know. And I'm the same with TV series as well. I don't mind waiting like a year for the next series, like for the next season, as long as it doesn't end on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
You know, if it's like rounded off, but it's open for more, I don't mind that. But if it ends on like a full-on cliffhanger, like Best of Both Worlds, or like the end of season 2 of Strange New Worlds, you know, it's a killer.
Here's the thing, me being probably the oldest one here, growing up in like the 70s and 80s, watching a lot of television, you had 24 episodes a year, and then it would go into repeat. So if you missed it, you could try and catch it the next, you know, when it repeated. But at least it stretched longer. Now television is completely different. You have fewer episodes. They put more money into them. They put a lot more. They're like little mini movies almost.
Yeah.
So you have 8 to 12 episodes. You have half a season, and then that's it. If you binge watch it, you're done. But now they're longer to produce. Sometimes they're more than back in the 70s and 80s. You had to have everything ready for the fall season. Once it came to September, new shows got to be ready to go, and you're ready for a whole set of new 22, 24 new episodes. But now it's kind of like whenever they're ready. You could go 2.5, 3 years before the next season drop. They decide to take that long. Usually, mostly they don't, because there's too much of a demand for it. But yeah, but it's television is completely different now.
Yeah, but you guys are talking about like tense moments. The first time I remember ever like screaming watching an episode, it was Cause and Effect from season 5 of Next Generation. For whatever reason, I didn't see the trailer for the previous week, and the opening seconds, the Enterprise blows up, and I just like, ah! My mom was thought something died. What's up, Zach?
Oh, I was agreeing. Yep, that's exactly how I was too.
Yeah,
like, what? Which one was that again? I'm trying to remember which one that is now.
No, it's the one where they got stuck in the time loop. They kept on blowing up and blowing up.
Oh, yeah.
And then went opening credits, and then come back after the commercial. Everything's fine and normal again. You're just like, what the hell?
I went to watch that at a friend's place. I remember the night that aired, and I went to my friend's to watch it with a friend of mine who was just getting home. He was he was going to college at the time too, and he was having an awful day, and we were looking forward to just kind of watching Star Trek, and he was in a grumpy mood that night. We sat down and watched it, and the show opens, and then the opening scene that the Enterprise explodes, and it goes to credits, and he was just like, what? It was just that moment, the end of his day, that made him snap to watch that. I'm going to watch Star Trek, and they blow the ship up. And I said, it's just the opening credits, man. When it comes back, I'm sure it's It'll explain everything.
Am I the only one who didn't react to that?
I never
Because-
forgot to that.
But
When,
you know, that
when I
was
first saw that episode,
Yeah, like
like seeing them on the bridge and then the Enterprise exploding. The first thing I came out with was, it's a time loop episode.
Yeah, that was
I
kind
think
of
I'm
my
the only
thought too. I
person who
thought
didn't have like a
there's something
screaming
going on,
yell
yeah.
reaction.
it's the mystery. Yeah.
see, I was young and stupid, so when I watched that episode, I was probably like 5, so it wasn't time loop episode. Although I was Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I watched Power Rangers a lot, so there was a lot of time loops there. But I mean, I wasn't expecting it on
Love
Star
Power
Trek. I'm like,
Rangers.
no, and then it came back. I'm like, what the? I'm
Yeah,
happy
season-
again.
season 5, episode 18.
Yeah. God, it's been so long. I still remember sitting there at my friend's place.
Yeah, I didn't like Star Trek until I was like 13, and it was
Yeah.
all because of Contact. So, you know, I didn't watch until then, but I never read the synopsis for the episodes. I just watched them.
Do you know, complete side note, I don't want to get too sidetracked, but on YouTube, Shout Factory, and I want to say on track, but Shout Factory started airing, or I should say started streaming Space 1999. And I haven't seen any of that in ages and ages and ages. And I just kind of just randomly, as I was eating, put something on last night. And what a wild, bizarre show. I forgot how weird that show is. I actually really enjoyed it. But because I used to like watching the Jerry Anderson puppet stuff, right? But wow, that was so bizarre. I don't know if you've ever seen Space 1999, but it was definitely inspired by Star Trek. And it was
a long time.
wacky, but it was great. I don't know why.
Is it just as wacky as like Fraggle Rock?
No, it's a different kind of wacky than Fraggle Rock, but he's definitely inspired by early Trek, but it was just a bizarre. It's like the moon is knocked out of orbit and there's a space station on the moon and it's moving through space, and again it's all these different alien encounters and things that happen, but it's just weird. It's got Martin Landau, Barbara Bain in it.
It's available on Prime and Peacock.
Is it? Okay.
Interesting.
Shout Factory does stream them as well.
But it's also on like Plex and other things too. But
and a great opening theme. Oh, the opening theme! You kind of want to get up and dance to it. It's so great.
What's this?
It's like Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah. No, it's this kind of, I don't know. You'd have to just play it and listen to it. It's really catchy, but I love it.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to check this out. I might be keeping Peacock for a while.
I have to go back and watch another one of those episodes.
Something that I would like.
But you can tell it's definitely even the uniforms. Well, actually, it came up before the motion picture, but I feel like the motion picture got the idea from the uniforms from Space 1999. It's that gray, bland kind of thing, but they have one arm that has color on it, but they're this sort of grayish, bland 70s idea of the future.
I would like.
Yeah, it's definitely, yeah.
Yeah,
it's. But it was produced by Jerry Anderson, who used to do like Thunderbirds and Captain Scarlet and all that. Which fun,
oh, you see, I love Thunderbirds. I grew up on Thunderbirds and Captain Scarlet.
They were fun. They were definitely fun shows.
I was gonna say, you said Thunderbirds. Now I gotta check. Yeah, what's it? It's called Space 1999.
Space 1999.
Give me a second here, and I can do the wrong thing there. Nice. See, I need to get a second monitor so I can do stuff like this easier.
Well, you must have seen it, haven't you, Dave? You must be familiar with it.
Yeah, I have not seen it in a long time.
The opening credits were it would flash scenes to the beat that would last like a second to the beat of the theme, and it would just like dang.
Yeah, I was saying, so let me just see if this works.
Oh no, I've seen this. Okay. As soon as you.
Unfortunately, I think
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, this is it's goofy. I need to be okay.
Still kind of gives me an idea.
Very more people have passed on now.
Alright. That looks pretty slick.
Okay. Yeah. As soon as you put on
Yeah,
that
unfortunately, I
intro, I'm
think-
like,
No, please stop it now, please.
those uniforms are so like bland. They're awesome.
70s idea of the future.
Yep.
Although what's kind of funny is that there's a little more aggressive. Like on the Star Trek, Kirk would try and figure out if there's an alien on the ship killing people, he'd try and figure out and stop it. Space 1999, it was just like, fuck this. Open the airlocks. It's gone. Fuck you.
I think that's the only part of it I agree with.
Yeah.
Like, throw people out of the airlock if you
Trying to
don't like
communicate.
them. Just,
Yeah.
no in between.
It was almost like Jerry Anderson was trying to capture the allure of Star Trek, but then A Space Odyssey.
What's kind of sad is that the first season is a good one. The second season, it was taken over by somebody else. They changed the theme, the whole feel of the show changed. The second season is not as good, but the first season was great.
Yeah, now I'm going to be binging on that again. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Oh,
thank you for that recommendation. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Dave, for zapping it in my brain with the intro. As soon as that came on, I'm like, oh, I know what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's been ages since I've watched any of those.
I had a roommate for many years who was a big years ago, still a good friend of mine. He's in his 70s now, but he was a huge fan of Jerry Anderson and Toho monster movies, and he had collections around his whole place. He had a puppet from Captain Scarlet. He won in an auction, paid a lot of money for it, but it had the full thing, the full original puppet, all the working gear is still in the back of the head. He had that thing under glass. But man, his place was filled with like stuff from Jerry Anderson and Toho.
It just seems like, I don't know. It seems we've lost some type of edge. I don't know if it's because we're just not as creative anymore. But like the 70s and the 80s were like, what a time to be alive. Like I wish I was actually born and like a child in the 80s to actually experience it. I'm glad that like you had syndication and all that, but the 70s and 80s were like, that was where everything good was.
70s and 80s, even to the 90s, everything was new. They were trying to make some original ideas, and now it's like I feel like everyone's trying to cash in on the nostalgia and make continued sequels or reboots, which is kind of a shame. But they're making the stuff that I remember when it was all new.
And a lot of it's cool. I mean, a lot of I love the nostalgia, but then I also want something new. So that's what's great about Lower Decks is it's actually something new. So, but to Katie's point, it is kind of cliche doing a time loop alternate universe type scenario.
It's part of something that already exists, though, right? You know what I mean? Like it's
but it was saved by the comedy of the situation.
Yeah,
it was done okay. I mean, like I said, I don't hate the episode by any means, but I do think it's like bordering on cliche in the comedy of it and the love of the characters and that is what, like, the only thing that saved it for me. But I mean, I don't mind watching things from like the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I really don't. because, you know, crap CGI doesn't bother me. It's the quality of the acting and the storylines that I look for. You know, if it's decent acting, if it's decent storylines, I'll sit and watch it, even if you can clearly see the strings and the harness on somebody who's flying. You know, I don't give a crap about that. You know, it just is what it is, and
this is why I think I enjoyed watching old Doctor Who. Yeah. I didn't mind how.
That's why I always love it when John Wayne and Howard Hawks ended up teaming up, because they were so campy, like just campy crap, typical Western, but it was awesome because it was creative and it was good acting for crap.
Well, yeah, no, in that sense, I don't mind things like that. I really don't. I mean, I even though I'm an 80s baby, I was born in 87, so I was born right at the end of the 80s. So I didn't really experience the 80s. Like the 90s were my growing up experience, but I grew up on like the original Thunderbirds and Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons.
Sure.
And you could see the strings. You know, you could see the strings and things like that, and the special effects were just so rubbish. But I mean, at the time they were absolutely amazing. But now it's all been rebooted and it's just like full on CGI, like animated, and it's like, no, you're taking something away from it.
That's like how I like when I watched the new Lion King. I'm like, why? What you're ruining my time. You ruined my. You're missing something of the point of like the original. And I mean, I get it. You're rebooting it for the next generation.
How are you? I went to school for, and my first job was being a traditional animator. Well, actually, I did layout, but I have a huge traditional hand done animation has a huge spot for me in here. So yeah, when they did that, I'm like, the film was like barely 30 years old, and you're trying to make a full CGI live-ish version. Like, why? The first one is fantastic. Just leave it alone.
I mean, there are some things that you should never do live action. I mean, I'm a huge Disney fan, and I mean huge. But there are some live actions that I do like Alice in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass with Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
Tim Burton.
That one was brilliant.
Tim Burton is amazing. You know, I mean, I absolutely love the live action of that.
Yeah.
I'm not too keen on Beauty and the Beast. I can't stand Jungle Book, Lion King. Cinderella was meh, but I do love the live action Little Mermaid. And The Little Mermaid is like my favorite Disney of all time. And I was so worried about it. And there is only two things about it that I don't like. And that is, one, Ariel gets involved in the song Under the Sea. I'm sorry, but no, that's Sebastian's song.
That's Sebastian's song.
Yeah, and then at the end, in the original Disney animation from 1989, there's like the final part of that world, which is now we can walk, now we can run, you know, and it goes on like that. But that isn't at the end of the live action one, and it was very disappointing. And they're the only two things about it that I don't like.
I've only seen chunks of it. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I was disappointed they cut back part of Ursula's song. They took out one of my favorite lines out of the song, and they reduced it.
They didn't take it out, darling. That song was rewritten because of offensive language.
Wokeism. Oh, man. And not the good kind, not the Star Trek woke, just whatever bullshit we're on today.
But also, the song "Kiss the Girl" was rewritten as well because of.
I haven't seen that.
Because of, you know, I mean, the type of woke of like accepting people, minding your own business, move with the times, fair enough. But when it comes to like originality like that,
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I sat there in the movie theater watching the live action Little Mermaid, and I sung the songs in their original form.
Mm.
And I did not give a crap.
Nice. Hey, for the prices of those movie theaters. Sorry to cut you off, but for the prices of those movie theaters, you better be not giving a fuck and just singing along to the original lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, I know the lyrics off by heart. Obviously, Little Mermaid is my favorite Disney of all time, but I just didn't care, and I don't like the new versions of those songs.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, hearing them in the movie rather than just on the album is a lot different, and it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, but apparently the reason why they changed the lyrics to Kiss the Girl is because it was basically taking away Ariel's consent or some crap like that, which it wasn't.
No.
You know,
I guess depends on the context, but I mean,
apparently, it was apparently to do with manipulation. But, and now a few other people have brought up this fact as well. The only reason why she got legs was to manipulate this bloody prince into kissing her.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yes.
And that's why the song was changed, because they didn't want it to come across as that the prince was manipulating her, and it's like, whoa.
I will give credit
if that's why you change the lyrics to the song, you've got to change the entire freaking movie.
I will say, like, all these live action reboots, like Little Mermaid has its issues, but it sounds like it pretty much stayed on par. Like, and I actually like. I think Aladdin is the same way. Like, it wasn't bad as a live action. I would have much rather had. It's pretty good, actually. I don't like I don't like Will Smith's Genie though, but I'm a Robin Williams fan.
That's why I won't watch it, because I'm sorry, Robin Williams is always the Genie.
Yeah, but to just imagine a live action version of Robin Williams as Genie, and then you'll get through it. Other than that, the movie actually, it was basically the cartoon version. It was the original version for the most part.
Yeah, I do have to say because every now and then, when I'm given Lyft rides and there's children in the car, I default to the Disney Hits channel, and they've played the Will Smith version of the Prince Ali. I mean, he was pretty spot on to how Robin Williams portrayed it. So I mean, of course, it doesn't sound the same, but I mean, it was.
Sorry,
he was all the music. I will give Will Smith that one. Like all the music scenes, like Prince Ali, he was on par as singing Genie. Like but as far as like the actual character, no. I would have much.
Jafar is so blah. Jafar was so eccentric and bizarre, and he was the guy actor who played in live action was just very.
He was just bland. He was
just bland. I was like, oh, come on, get into it.
Are you supposed to be the bad guy? Obviously, you're an asshole.
Yeah, but I haven't seen the movie to this day, but I'm saying that, of course, Gilbert Gottfried did they even have Iago in the movie?
No, that's another shame.
And
he's still alive. They could have got Gilbert Gottfried.
Yes, he wanted to do it.
He did want to do it. That's the shame. He actually wanted to come back.
Was he still alive when they made it?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But no, Gilbert Gottfried's Iago provided me with like my favorite quote. And I absolutely love it, and I say it all the time. And from the first moment I heard Iago say that, I think it was in the third Aladdin movie, Aladdin and the Prince of Thieves. Iago just comes out with, "I'm as innocent as the day I was hatched," and I say that all the time.
The third one is highly underrated. That is an underrated film right there. The third Aladdin.
I still use the line today. I think I'll have a heart attack and die from being not surprised.
Yes. Yes.
I say that all the time.
There are so many good lines in those movies. And you know, I know all the songs, but I absolutely love Iago. He is like one of my favorite Disney like sidekicks. I mean, like, could you imagine Iago and Mushu teaming up?
Oh dear God.
That would just be epic.
What, Iago today?
No, the original Iago from the original Aladdin animations and Mushu.
Yeah.
Or Mulan.
From the original Mulan animation. Could you imagine those two teaming up? That'd be beautiful.
That would be awesome, but they would be canceled really, really quick.
Yeah, but that's the fun of it. That's the fun of it. Like Disney for adults. Be careful, adult content.
Let's do it. Let's bring Mushu and Iago together. Is Gilbert Godfrey still alive? Oh, he did die, didn't he? It was just recently.
Yeah.
Shame.
That would be so epic though. Because I mean I love Eddie Murphy. And I always love Gilbert Godfrey as well. You know, I would have loved to have met him.
2.5 years ago when he passed, April 2022.
It's been that long.
Wow. That's a shame. We lost the great. They must needed his. They needed his adrenochrome.
But back to the episode. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Back to the episode. Levick was one of the background characters on the first episode. Or not Levick. Livik.
Livik.
Yeah, it's a Rutherford's nemesis.
Oh.
And he was there like twice. Once on the bridge and once is in the hallway. That both of them were together. So I'm kind of disappointed that I guess Rutherford was so into Otherford, the bionic Rutherford, that I guess he didn't notice.
You see, I don't recognize the name, but like Rutherford's nemesis, I do recognize.
No, Livik was the guy that just kept on butting in right before it was like early last season when everyone was getting the 2 pips and stuff.
Yeah, I
And Bill said, "Do you want a pip?" There.
Yeah, I vaguely remember. Kind of. Possibly.
What?
And then
what's the night they air again? What's the night they? What's the night that they air again? Or the next
Thursdays.
one is Thursdays. Oh, all right. So basically tomorrow night.
Yeah. So like midnight Pacific is when it releases.
Right. Okay.
So just about 6 hours from now.
All right.
2 for me.
Or 5
2
hours
for Phil as well.
Yeah. I was gonna say
we're on the
10 o'clock.
feature,
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not midnight for every time zone. It's midnight Pacific, so it's like 7 o'clock in LA right now.
Oh, it's midnight Pacific is when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So that's
so
that's 2 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 8 a.m. here when it comes out. Actually, with the time difference, it'll be 7 a.m.
Woohoo!
Because my not that I'll be watching it, but no, everything's an hour behind at the minute until early hours on Sunday morning because our clocks went back before yours.
Yeah. You guys were a couple of weeks ahead of us.
Yeah, because
we get to do it this Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so just a week difference.
Yeah. Because usually like technically Trek starts at 1 a.m. here, but today it started at midnight because of the time because of the clock change.
We used to be it's only been a few years that we've, like, it used to be around the same time as the UK, and then for some reason it shifted 2 weeks for whatever reason just a few years ago. And I don't know why.
It was during Bush's presidency when they changed that.
Oh, right. Has it been that long?
Yeah.
About 20 odd years.
Something
Well,
about
for us, it's
North
the
American
final
Union.
Sunday in October and then the final Sunday in March when we change our clocks.
I'm about to start spouting off conspiracy theories. Dave, any more on the episode before I start spouting off conspiracy theories about the Omero?
Well, there was like, a conspiracy theory. Well, two actually. One when Becky and Mariner walked into the shuttle bay, all the duplicates are all fighting. And it's like, I'm not going to have any interpersonal conflicts on my ship, which was a big thing with Roddenberry with Next Generation. It's like there's no interpersonal conflict, and damn, it's like smack dab in the middle. But Rutherford tinkering with Rutherford's memories and stuff, he just up and just like boop, 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 like no consent, saying, "Hey, I'm going to do something to you." He just ups and does it. Saying, "What the heck?" That's kind of like a violation of ethics right there.
Of the Prime Directive,
or just not the Prime Director per se, but just making alterations to Rutherford without his consent.
Yeah,
kind of makes it like,
it's kind of a funny because, like you said, to your point there, Dave, is Roddenberry with all of his shows, especially like with Next Gen, no conflict. Everybody gets along, no interpersonal. I mean, if you have a disagreement, you deal with it, right? And then to see everybody like they at each other's throats because it's kind of funny. That's the brilliance of this show, honestly. And I'm glad that I'm hip to it. Now I'm gonna go back and marathon the first 4 seasons. Because ironically, I've seen about half of them. I've seen half of the first season, so I'll just rewatch it and binge.
I should go back and rewatch them. I have seen all of them, but I've only ever seen them once, so I'll have to go back and rewatch.
Yeah, see, when I started doing this show, doing the reviews and whatnot, I've usually watched the episode 3 or 4 times. I'll watch it one time so I could just like absorb it and see what's going on, and then the second time I watch it, I'll scribble some notes down so I can partake in the Strange New Pod Thursday night. I might watch it a third time over the weekend, and then again right before coming on to this show. So
very organized. Can't say I could do the same.
Yeah, this week not very organized because of the drama with my cell carrier. Still, like I said, Mint Mobile, if you don't need to talk to their customer service, they're great. Talking to their customer service,
I thought Ryan Reynolds said it was the best cell service in America.
Well, like I said, the service itself, I've had no problems. But talking to their customer support, that's another issue altogether.
Sounds like Ryan needs to get in there and knock some heads together.
I'm okay with the network that I have. I've like touch wood and touch better wood. I've never had any problems with the service provider I'm with. I know like big difference between like the UK and the US, but I mean there's a service provider across here called 3,
I've heard of
and
them. Yeah.
absolutely,
It's probably owned by Verizon somehow.
but I'm with Vodafone, and I can get a signal practically anywhere. Even in the middle of nowhere at my aunt's, I can get a signal. All I have to do is I just have to go to the end of a driveway, and I can get a signal. But it's very rare that I can't get network access. And yet with the service provider 3 that my best friend Louise is on, she's constantly having problems with her signal or cellular data, everything.
Probably Mint Mobile.
And with Network 3, the longest you can stay on a call is 2 hours, and then it automatically cuts out.
Really?
What?
Yeah, it automatically cuts the call off after like 2 hours, and you've got to like call that person back.
I wonder why that is.
I have no idea. I really don't, because Vodafone don't do it.
I had a really good.
I
thought they were supposed to be really good. Huh.
But I know that it's Network 3 and it's not me, because I've been on the phone to my other friend, and we've been on the phone for like 4 hours, and he's not on the Network 3, and our phone call hasn't cut out, so I know that it is the 3 network that cuts out after 2 hours.
Right.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
This actually sounds like it might be a Vulcan conspiracy because they're logical assholes. This sounds like something Vulcans would do just to piss us off. Here, shut off the. Here, you get 2 hour limit on the phone.
Well, yeah, because I mean, honestly, me and Louise can be on the phone for half a day, especially if we've not spoken to each other in like a week or two. And we have to keep calling each other back when it automatically cuts off after 2 hours, and it's like, what the hell?
Vulcans.
Yeah.
You should be allowed
it must be.
We're starting conspiracy theories now. You will own nothing, and you will be logical.
So I'm doodling.
Oh,
that is fantastic.
Yeah. Also, did you notice the color of the uniforms as well in the alternate reality episode?
It did.
That's part of the 327 variants.
Yeah, they're a darker shade almost. Yeah.
Yeah, it was more vivid than the Prime Cerritos kind of thing. Like more crisp and vibrant.
Yeah,
I can't remember if we've already mentioned that, but I thought I'd bring it up.
Yeah,
you need to check the private chat as well.
Yeah, I did notice they made it a slightly different shade for and I think the pins were a little bit different. I could be wrong, but I thought something was different about the pins, or I have to go back and look at it.
I'll have to look at it again, but I think it was fine because like Talin's, she had the provisional, like the Maquis style in both universes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I noticed that. I didn't notice the actual pips themselves being different.
Yeah, then other than that, the only physical differences between the alternates would be Boimler's beard and Shax's ponytail.
And Ransom's hair.
That was great.
Oh yeah, Ransom. Yeah, he had a little more of a mullet going.
Yeah. Honestly, though, the argument that those two had about pressing the button.
Yeah.
I actually did laugh at that, because even though they were arguing, that they were still like supposedly like complimenting each other, even though they made it sound like an insult. I found that so funny.
I would be surprised if there was like behind the scenes they were boinking each other. They were like,
Yeah, well, yeah, you know, because
wow, wow.
wow, chicka, wow, wow.
I mean,
Either that or they're just
I don't like Ransom's. I mean, honestly, he's up his own ass. You know,
well,
he really
well,
is.
he can literally be up his own ass with his alternate.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that. You know,
Recording.
and it'd be a perfect situation for him.
Yeah. I think someone was knocking at my door. Just like, this big old Francis recording. Leave me alone.
What was that? Somebody knocking on your door?
Yeah. One of the kids, don't know which.
Oh, child, come say hello. Hi.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm a bad influence. That's why I'm
They'll
always
wanna
the favorite auntie.
They'll want to start crawling all over my bed and touching things I don't want them touching.
No, gotta love them.
Yeah.
Kid
Like
stuff.
I said, hopefully by next week I'll have a frame for my poster, and so I'll have it on the wall behind me. They end up getting something else instead, which wasn't as a high priority, but I was like, ooh, thing, yay, ADD blonde brain.
Nice.
That is a really nice poster.
It
It
is. I was
is.
like, but I am just
Yeah.
and I even got a little card that came along with it. Just enclosed, please find a special item to thank you for your endless support as we board the USS Cerrito for the 5th and final season of Star Trek Lower Decks. Your friends at
Final. No.
Yeah.
Who do you have to do in order to get that for free?
I still don't know.
Tyson's not here, so I got to be Tyson's dirty mouth.
I
Guilty.
probably gotta say that this podcast probably has a lot to do with it.
Maybe.
Very possibly.
That is very possible.
They see my love and passion for Star Trek and say, hey, we want to give you a little something. But autographs is like, oh, totally unexpected. So that just like pretty much more than doubled the autographs that I have from other Star Trek actors.
You see, I literally have one Star Trek autograph, and that's Alan Van Sprang. From Star Trek Discovery. But that was more of a Shadowhunters autograph for me. But it's still a Star Trek actor. But
this one
I can't wait to get my my first official Star Trek autographs in a couple of weeks. Well, I think it's like 10 days or something. So not this coming weekend, but the weekend after when I go to Comic-Con. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. Because I don't really have anything Star Trek. I've got those handmade glass things. And I've got the tiniest little pin badge with the demisexual flag on. Other than that, I have got nothing Star Trek. Oh, and I've got a book, like a graphic novel. But yeah, I do want a few more things Star Trek. I actually want a com badge. I don't know why, but I want a com badge. And it's not because other people have got com badges. It's just something I've always wanted. But yeah, don't rub it in.
I mean, who wouldn't want a com badge?
I actually wouldn't mind a com badge that's a Bluetooth microphone.
Ooh. Oh, Dave, don't rub it in.
I want it.
No way.
Yeah, well,
that's Bluetooth for real.
Yeah, the Bluetooth. The Bluetooth kind of sucked for it, but
it was a Bluetooth earpiece, but it was like it looked more like a tiny earbud, so that it couldn't really be seen. and then it actually came with the Star Trek comm badge, and you tapped the comm badge to answer a call.
That's awesome.
on your cell, and I'm just like, I need that in my life. I don't know if it was a prototype
Same.
or something, but you connected them to your cell, and when a call came through, you just tapped the comm badge, and it answered the call. And it's just like, oh my God, I want one. You know, like I had like a proper like girly moment, like with the proper flappy hands and the squealing and everything. It's like I can count on one hand how many times in my life I've had one of those moments, and that was one of them.
Don't lie, Katie. You just want to tap it. You just want to tap it and say, energize.
But no, that's
Beam me up, Scotty.
Beam me up.
That's one thing. One thing a lot of people keep on forgetting, because with the Bluetooth earbuds and stuff, that was from Star Trek with Uhura.
Yeah.
The little earpiece that listened to and whatnot. So saying that's another like Star Trek invention that came to real life.
It's amazing how much of the technology that Star Trek had that we're starting to see.
Oh yeah.
Like, keep on just
little flip phones when those first came out.
Flip phones, yep.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, like flip phones, tablets.
Even the iPods.
Yeah.
And then,
earpieces, Bluetooth earpieces, and even like the headphones with the microphones on. But no, there has been so much that's come out of Star Trek. The ability to video call.
Mm-hmm.
That originated from Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, shit like what we're doing now. That all originated from Star Trek.
Yeah. The iPads.
Well,
it's amazing.
It is amazing.
I mean, the fact that we can hail each other. I mean, Dave, Colorado, Katie, England, me, Indiana, Phil up in Canada. I mean, we're doing Star Trek
in
right
San Diego,
now. Yeah. So it's ice in San Diego.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can communicate with each other as easily as I can communicate with someone on the other side of my own city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's even with a time difference, you know, whether it be messaging, video connection, audio connection, we can get that connection as easily as me and Louise can.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love that. And for me, that's what advances in technology should be. It should be to better things, better communication. Because, you know, what's the world without communication?
Yep. Chaos. Division.
Exactly. And
threats of nuclear annihilation.
I mean,
we're completely black-pilled on that one.
But I mean, like, the technology that we've got now that was inspired by Star Trek is the reason why we all know each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was even Star Trek that brought us all together. Regardless of why or how, Star Trek brought us together through Manu.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's even more of a special thing, and it makes me love this even more.
I feel like I'm a Gen Xer, and I feel like I'm the only one in my group that seems to embrace new technology. I know so many friends and so many people that don't like new upgrades. They don't want anything to do with the new phones. They don't want anything. They still, you know, and I'm okay with it. I don't mind paying on my iPhone for something and tapping something. And I don't know.
I draw
I
my
have certain
line at that.
reasons, but
That's where I draw mine. I'm a boomer.
I know. I
When it comes
know
to that.
Yeah.
No, I don't pay for things with, like, I'll do bank transfers and
e-transfer.
Yeah, I'll
I've
do
been-
bank
I've been-
transfers, and I will.
Yeah.
I'm way late. That's an S10.
Oh,
That was my upgrade from an S7 last year.
But no, like, I will pay by my card. I will do bank transfers. I will, like, buy things online. But when it comes to paying for things with my phone, I won't. I don't have an iPhone anyway. I've got a Samsung.
I have a horrible habit of forgetting my wallet, and that's the only reason I did is because I have a bad history of leaving my wallet at home. But for some stupid reason, my phone is always in my knapsack or in my pocket. So I went, not great. And sure enough, it saved my life a couple of times. But
no, I don't mind embracing new technology. But I'm still very wary about it because I don't think that we're in a position as a race to embrace new technology too quickly, because that's when things are going to start screwing up really badly.
Sure.
And also the biggest technologies in the world, the most advanced technologies, they're being used completely wrong. In my opinion, they're being used wrong. I mean, some stupid person had this brilliant idea that, there is still hunger and starvation on Earth, but let's go colonize Mars.
Yeah.
Let's take all our bigotry to Mars. Rather than sort out our race on our home planet and try and eradicate hunger, disease, war.
Yeah, I think that's what is something about Star Trek, is that they had taken care of all that. They had, in Star Trek, the idea was they had gone through this war and this earth-shattering thing that caused humanity to come together and restructure itself and become a peaceful planet. We haven't got there yet.
I don't want World War III to happen.
Yeah.
This is what I mean by technology is being used very wrong. The amount of technological advancements out there, it could sort out a hell of a lot of problems. There's still a big portion of Earth that hasn't been explored yet. There is life on this planet that hasn't been discovered yet.
Sure.
And
we still haven't.
We're already exploring Mars and wanting to colonize it, and it's like, whoa, hold on a minute.
We can colonize Mars. Send all the bigots over to Mars. Send all the sociopaths to Mars.
Oh no, just send Elon Musk there on his freaking own, and that'll sort a hell of a lot of problems out. Maybe get him to take Trump with him as well, and Boris Johnson.
Yeah.
Because Donald Trump and Boris Johnson, they would make a brilliant, kind of like twinny married couple.
I gotta give Elon some props, all right? I can say retard on X again. And there's a lot of retards on it.
True.
That's about it.
But that one thing doesn't make up for all the shit he comes out with and all the shit he stands for.
Hey.
Oh, sure.
He does get paid in subsidies. Allegedly, he does pay those subsidies back. I'm just saying.
I mean, I could say quite easily what I would love to happen to Elon Musk, but I won't.
But anyways, we are at 2.5 hours. My wonderful co-host needs to step away. So I think we're going to call it good for this week. And next week,
real quickly, I did finish it.
Brilliant.
That's nice.
Brilliant.
I like that.
There you go.
I do too.
I'll put that up on my Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah, if you've enjoyed our talk about the episode and all the other that we did tonight, be sure to like and subscribe there on YouTube, so that helps monetize the channel, helps bring a bigger reach out. Say we've had over 30 people watching tonight, so thank you. A lot of it's probably from Zach's side, so thank you, sir, for sharing it on your end of things. So that's helping things out on my end too. So.
Because you know what? Everybody just needs a break from all the mundane political shenanigans.
Yeah.
And who doesn't want to take a break with Star Trek?
Sure. Yeah. Sorry, I am that you came in so late, right at the end.
Well, it's all good. It's glad to have you on board. It's always good to have more than just me, Katie, and Tyson all the time. So.
I'm going to do one more plug since William showed up a little late. If you're up and at 'em and wanting to listen to a great conversation, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, World Blockchain Roundtable, live on YouTube and X.
See, I'll be out driving, so yeah, unfortunately, I will not be able to partake.
I got nothing yet. I'm hoping the next couple of weeks to get stuff restarted. I've got my thing I need to restart my own stream, but it's on hold right now.
But it looks like your stye's definitely healing.
Oh, this is getting better. Thankfully, it's still really slow. It's now I've got back issues that are more severe than I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta take care of that back issue.
I could hardly see it there anymore. Like the last couple of weeks, it's like almost
just a little red line now. Yeah, yeah, I know. It was all swollen there a few weeks back.
Yeah, and speaking of swollen, Travis was unfortunately able to join us tonight because he's got something going on with his hand that's just driving him absolutely bonkers. So I'm just like, hopefully you'll heal up quickly, my man. And hopefully we'll see you on Sunday, which, by the way, like Dangerous Thoughts is coming at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, since it's going to be back at the Standard Time. This Sunday. I'd say I don't know who the guest is on that show. I think we might be getting I'm blanking on his name, the guy from 2 weeks ago.
Mika.
Yeah, Micah Dank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I can't say definitively, but I think that was the plan, was to have him back. So I don't think that we had a guest lined up for this Sunday. So, and hopefully I'll be in a better mindset than the chaos that happened today. So I'll be fully prepared for next week.
Lesson learned. Customer service.
In a very good mindset.
Yeah, I'd say I just remember when I had a job at Value Village years ago. They had a poster in the break room. A customer will tell 5 of their friends when treated sweet as honey, but a customer stung is a bad thing when they can tell as many as 20. And I got over 30 people that heard about his poor customer service experience with Mint Mobile. So again, the service itself is great, but customer service, F-. M tier. But until then, live long and prosper. Live long and prosper. See you all next week.
Toodles.
Cheers.